The AI boom has infiltrated everything this year, and Canva is at the very forefront of what is possible. They have implemented a bunch of different AI tools so far, some of which are amazingly good and some of which are a bit less good. So in this video, I'm gonna go through all of these tools ranked from worst to best. And I can already tell you that the best tool is currently saving me 90% of my work time. Let's get into it. The first and therefore worst Canva AI tool that they launched is the text-to-image generator. A lot of people might disagree with my take here, but let me explain. Obviously, the mere fact that nowadays it is possible to generate a good-looking picture based on a text prompt alone is nothing short of magic. And I do appreciate the fact that Canva makes such a generator available to its users because a lot of them work with images all the time. That being said though, the generator just is not that good yet, especially if you compare to other picture generators like DALL-E from OpenAI or of course Midjourney. Their pictures are just on a whole different level and Canva cannot compete with that right now. Do I think that that can change in the future? Absolutely. But right now, if you want to generate pictures from text prompts alone, Canva is not the best choice for that. As you can see, the tool is fun to play around with, but the results are just not good enough to especially use them in a commercial setup. But there are other AI tools where Canva is at the very forefront of what currently is possible, and I'm gonna get to those in a minute. The next Canva AI tool on our list is called Magic Edit. This is a neat little tool that lets you edit pictures and add things into it afterwards. So if you have a picture like this one, for example, and you want to add something on top of it, you simply mark the area where you want to add the item, and then you write what you want to add. And you get different suggestions of how that could look like. Pretty straightforward, right? I really enjoy playing around with this tool, and I have to say most of the time it works rather well, but sometimes it also doesn't. Sometimes the objects that you want to add into the picture look out of place, it doesn't look real, or it simply doesn't fit into the area that you have marked. I'm 100% convinced that this will get better over time, and in the future this is how we will do all of our picture editing, but right now it still feels a little bit clunky. It's really more a glimpse into the future and what will be possible down the line. But our next tool on the list is already a bit further in its development and works surprisingly well. It is what Canva calls the magic eraser. Before we talked about adding objects to a picture, now we're talking about erasing parts of a picture. Sometimes we find a really beautiful picture, but there is one thing that irritates us about it and we would like to remove that part if only it was possible. Well, nowadays it is. With the magic eraser you can go into the picture and basically remove parts without the picture changing its entire composition. So the AI tool essentially manages to fill in the parts that you have removed and make it look natural. And this is by no means a small feat because it has to analyze the background, it has to analyze the whole composition of the picture to really make it look like the object that you removed never existed in the first place. Now I have to admit that sometimes that works better and sometimes it works a little bit worse, but I still use that tool quite regularly already. And I would assume that we will get to a point where we don't even have to mark the object anymore that we want to remove, but instead we can just describe it to the AI tool and then it will do it for us. We do have to realize that we're at the very early stages of a development that will continue for decades to come and will probably exponentially get better. So if anything, I feel like it's just a really exciting time to be alive and to witness the early and sometimes humble beginnings of AI and see where it goes from here. The next AI tool on our list is called Magic Write. We are moving a little bit away from picture editing and go more towards presentations and text editing in Canva, which of course a lot of people use Canva for. And oftentimes you kind of know what your presentation should be about, but then to actually put the words down can be tricky. This is where Canva's AI tool Magic Write can help you. Because you can simply tell it what a slide should be about and it will fill in the blanks for you. This way the text in your slides doesn't have to come from you directly anymore, instead it can be AI generated. Of course you still have to do some final touches normally, but the whole idea of working with AI tools is not that you outsource all the work, but that you simply make your work a lot easier. And for that I think Magic Write is a fantastic tool because it gives you a jumping off point from which you can then further elaborate on your own ideas. With all these amazing AI tools that we have already seen in this video, you might be wondering, what are the absolute best? What makes them even better than the ones that we have already seen, and how can I utilize them to the full effect? Well, we are getting there. The next tool is the second best AI tool that Canva currently offers, which is called Instant Presentations. And with that tool, you can let Canva design entire presentations for you. You can pick the design and the style that you seem fit and then customize it from there. But it's a fantastic way to save a lot of work early on. I think a lot of Canva users, including myself, don't know what they want until they see it. I certainly don't know how to create any presentation from scratch, but I do know when I see one that I like. So as the saying goes, great artists steal. And in this case, you should be stealing from AI. Because this AI tool from Canva, Instant Presentation, is fantastic at finding exactly the style that you want your presentation to have and then simply applying it for you. It lets you give input as much as possible at the beginning, and then once the slides are created, of course you can customize it as much as you like, but it gives you what you need to get started, and that's the most important part. And helping us doing that step from 0 to 1, which is often the hardest part of any project, is exactly what the very best AI tool of Canva also does. This one is called Magic Design. With Magic Design, literally all you do is upload the picture that you would like to be working with. Sometimes you start a project and you don't even know exactly what you're looking for. Do you want a poster? Do you want to make a flyer? Or maybe it's gonna be an Instagram post after all. With Magic Design, you don't even have to make that decision yourself anymore because you get suggestions for all of it. You can choose the style or the theme of your work. You can then choose the design based on the different color palettes that are offered to you. And voila, Canva produces a bunch of different options for you. This includes doing all the design for you. It gives you beautiful fonts with it, and everything just matches perfectly together. I consider myself a pretty creative person, but I am by no means a graphic designer. For that, I use Canva's AI tools. If you then feel like adding a personal touch, of course you can go ahead and play around with the fonts, with the colors, with the post size. Anything can be customized, but it gives you that freedom to have a jumping off point. So especially this last AI tool, Magic Design, fits in perfectly with the normal Canva user. Because this is what Canva is all about. Producing beautiful designs without actually having to learn Photoshop and being a professional graphic designer. And if AI can help me make that easier and easier over time, I'm all for it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe down below and I'll be seeing you in the next one.